Well, it's a date that Oil Country has been longing for. It's season opening night here at Rogers Place as the Oilers take on the Vancouver Canucks here on Wednesday Night Hockey. Welcome to the Oilers TV live pregame show. I'm your host, Tony Brar. Thanks so much for making us a part of your morning. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl will play together on the team's top line. They'll be joined alongside Jesse Puljujärvi. And rounding out the top six, Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Kyler Yamamoto. Now in the top nine, the newest Oiler, Colton Sceviour, who signed a one-year, two-way contract this morning, a $750,000 AAV, as he'll be speaking to the media right behind me.
I know you guys probably don't love these questions at the start of each year, but as you look around at the group that you guys have this year, how would you describe your expectations internally for what this group might be able to do?
Well, I think, first of all, we're all very excited. Obviously, the last 2 years have been different and special for everyone involved. So I think we're looking to go back to normalcy a little bit, especially tonight. I think the opening night's always very exciting for everyone. So, yeah, we got a good team. We know that. We have to make sure we know that and, you know, play our game, establish our game early, and I think we'll be fine.
More depth up front, in particular in the top six. Looks like you'll play with McDavid here to get started, but do you sense that, you know, the added skill level will give Tippett maybe a few more options and you could see that a little bit more? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, like I said earlier in camp, I think this is probably the deepest group we've had since 2017. So we got a lot of options. We can go a lot of different combinations. We added a lot of guys that have played a long time in this league, that have had success, and yeah, I think again it gives Tip you know, more options and more possibilities to make our team more unpredictable.
What have you seen from Connor's one-timer there? Is it coming along? He's been working on it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's fluffing off really nice. Yeah, really nice.
You don't feel threatened in that spot on the power play?
Oh no, if he gets a hold of it, he can shoot it. Yeah, no, no. I mean, he's obviously, you know, one of the hardest working guys around. You guys see it every day. We see it every day. So it's just something that's gonna make him even more dangerous to teams.
Hey, Leon. Colton Sceviour signs this morning. What have you seen out of Colton as a teammate in your short time of being with him?
Yeah, first of all, a great guy. Seems like a great team guy. You know, he puts the team first on you know, at any moment, and, you know, sacrifices his body, does the little things right, and yeah, it's someone that's going to be important to our team. Obviously, with Archie being out right now. You know, he's going to try and obviously bring that same intangible a little bit to our team. So he's going to be big on the penalty kill for us. So we're happy to have him.
PTO is always a really unique situation. As a leader in that locker room, how did you guys kind of try your best in order to make him feel welcome right away and make him feel part of the team, even though he technically didn't have a contract?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because we don't play every game with him in preseason, right? You're not always in the same group as him and those kind of things. But I think you just leave him be for a little bit and let him, he's an older guy, right? He knows what to do. He knows what his job is to make this team. So you just try and make them as comfortable as possible. And at the end of the day, those guys, they know exactly what they have to do. So they don't need much input from us.
I know you guys played in front of fans in the preseason, but it's a season opening night in front of what should be a full building. How much are you guys looking forward to that in the locker room?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, like I said earlier, it's been a strange couple of years, and even though it was amazing to have fans back in preseason, even that got us all very excited. I think tonight is a different level of excitement, and opening night is always special, whether it's a normal season or not, but especially with the last 2 years, it's even more special.
Leon, you've been around Jesse for quite a while. He seems to just add a lot of fun to the guys around him, and his game last year took a step. From what you've seen with him, what's your expectations on where he can grow and help you guys as a player?
Well, I think he found his confidence last season, obviously, and he's a goofy guy. He loves to joke around. He has maybe the loudest laugh I've ever seen in my life. So he's fun to be around, and obviously hockey-wise, he's improving every day. He's still getting better. He's still a young guy. You can't forget about it. So he's getting better, but last year was a big step for him, and I think we're all expecting him to take another step this year.
And what about getting back to, I guess, kind of normalcy in the sense that you're back in the Pacific Division, you're playing a lot of different teams. How is that going to impact as far as game day preparation after, you played the same team twice in a row, sometimes 3 times even, and it was only 6 teams? How different is that? Is it better for a player, or was it fun seeing the same teams?
It was fun, but I think we're all excited for it to go back to normal. This is probably a better question for the coaching staff, to be honest. For us players, you just try and go out and play your best, play to your ability, and essentially help the team win. So not much changes for us. Obviously, new faces, you see different teams more so than last year, but it's probably a question that you need to ask Tip.
Leon, is there a quality you think this team wants to have or can have that, maybe you felt you needed to improve on from last year? Like, what quality would you point to and say, okay, we need to make sure we have that?
Well, I mean, we had a pretty good year last year. One thing that I would do different from last year is probably the start of the season. Last year we were kind of scrambling a little bit early on, but we're obviously looking to get off to a good start tonight and kind of keep it rolling from there. So, like I said, I think we're all very, very excited to get going and get off to a good start.
Is it in the here and now completely, or is it okay for your group to talk about wanting to win a division or wanting to do things that are in the future?
I mean, we haven't played one game yet, so I think it's a little bit early, but I think we have the group to do it. But with that being said, we're in the here and now. We're trying to win tonight. We're focused on tonight and game 1 and go from there.
Just describe for us how it feels to come in kind of with the situation shrouded with uncertainty and then to turn that into a job, which doesn't happen all that often.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty exciting. Like a lot of the PTOs, turn into nothing and that kind of thing. So to get it into a contract and be here for a home opener is awesome. It's really exciting.
What do you think that you did well and showed, and what do you think they need from you?
I think, I showed some versatility in my ability to play all 3-4 positions. I think, my ability to penalty kill is probably one of the number one assets I think I bring, and that's kind of what I wanted to show. And I think that's probably more than likely one of the bigger reasons. And then that's just, I would like to show, the rest of my game here going forward with some more opportunity.
What's your confidence level when you show up in a situation like this? Come here thinking, you know what, I've got this, or is it like a needle that moves closer to the red the further you go along?
Yeah, I mean, I think you come in, believing you have to come in with some sort of belief in yourself. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and everyone else's. There's obviously confidence that you can fill a role or help the team. And then, as you go, it's kind of free willing because it's just, you just do your thing. It's out of your control. Once you finish playing, you can do what you can. And then the decision isn't really yours in the end. So early on, it's just, the confidence you think you can fit in here in some way, shape or form. Then after that, it's just play and, see how everything plays out.
Obviously, you're keeping score as your training camp goes on. Do you kind of grade yourself and say, okay, it's looking good, maybe it's not looking as good as I thought? Like, how do you...
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's almost impossible to compare yourself to, other players in that aspect, and that's kind of what it comes down to in the end. You kind of can grade your own game, see how you're playing, and see if you're kind of doing what you think you can or what you're capable of. And as long as you can do, the best or close to the best of your ability in most of the games kind of thing, you feel comfortable with the outcome whichever way it goes.
Is there an excitement level to not just make a team, but make a team that has some pretty high expectations and some high quality parts and some pretty lofty goals for this season? Yeah,
that's exciting. I mean, when you're playing on a team that's winning and competing for playoffs, competing for a Stanley Cup, that kind of stuff, it's way more enjoyable to be at the rink. And then those are the kind of teams you want to be on. The ability to come try out for a team that has those aspirations and that ability in that locker room was exciting. And like I said, be here for home opener on that team is exciting, and I'm excited. I don't really know how else to put it.
Okay, I could be late to the party of this, but I'll ask anyway. Who is Darren Sceviour, who played one game in the NHL from Red Deer?
That's my dad.
That is your dad?
That's my father, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, he played one game.
He did, yeah.
And you've played a lot more. Tell us the tale. Like, what did you know about his career? And did his getting a sniff help you get to where you are? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, he never forced me into hockey. I just got into hockey being, in Western Canada. I kind of friends and everyone did it, so I wanted to try it. And then, once I decided I wanted to go into it, he was my coach up until Bantams, I think. And honestly, probably in my opinion, one of the best coaches I've ever had because of a lot of the stuff he taught me at a very, very young age. I'm probably not here without him. His knowledge of, pro hockey and just that aspect as well was huge in me, learning how to play and how to grade myself and how to kind of what I needed to do to get to this level. So yeah, maybe his only one game is tough for him, but it's, a huge part of why I got to where I did.
Okay, 2 questions.
Absolutely.
What does he do for a living? And did you ever see tape of that game that he played?
He's a building inspector in Red Deer now, and I have never seen tape of it. I believe it was against the Edmonton Oilers.
Really?
If I remember correctly. And he played I think at least 1 year with the Nova Scotia Oilers as Edmonton's farm team back in, that would have been probably the mid-'80s. Hopefully, now I'm saying it on record, so hopefully that's correct. I feel like I'm remembering that right.
Look it up.
Yeah, so so there's a little bit of an Oiler connection there for sure.
In the back here. I'm just curious, I know you weren't with Pittsburgh for very long, but they obviously have some superstar players that have done some pretty great things in this league. Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering, from guys like Malkin and Crosby, are there things that you could take from those guys that you can impart on some of Edmonton's young core that's obviously trying to shoot for the same types of things that they're going for?
Honestly, there's a lot of similarities between the two big boys in Pittsburgh and the two big boys here, and just their desire and their competitiveness is just something that you don't see every day. Like, every day is game day, whether it's a practice or a summer skate for Sid and Gino and Leo and Connor take it the same way. It's when they come to the rink, they're not there just to get through. They're not there to just get through with practice and move on. They're there to get better. They're there to push you. And when we were in Pittsburgh, you notice a big change in the pace of even like summer skates and like practices when Sid and Gino are in the lineup. And you notice it here too. When they come in, they push the pace, they set it. And that aspect drives and brings the whole team up. I think that led to some of the Pittsburgh success when they're in their runs and their cups and stuff like that. And I see that same drive and that same push from within in this group. Good? Thanks, guys.
Hey, Dave. Just in the back here, Dave. Hi.
There we are.
There we go. Year 3 for you behind the bench, getting started tonight. What are your kind of thoughts and expectations for this team compared to maybe the other two?
Great to have fans back. Hopefully we get a full 82 games and it's a regular year that get to enjoy. I think our team is prepared well, had a good camp, and everybody's excited to get started.
Does it feel like a regular year again?
A little bit, yeah. A little more than last year, that's for sure.
In terms of Colton Sceviour getting a contract, what did you like from his camp, and what do you kind of hope to see from him?
Just a solid pro. He's a guy that can, we're with Arch out, some penalty killing. He's actually did a pretty good job in training camp. He can play as a versatile guy, play all 3 forward positions. So just, we're just looking for some added depth there. And tonight it comes in handy. Cass can't play. The doctors have ruled him out until Saturday. So he'll go in there in Cass's spot. And, he's had a good camp. He's ready to go.
Dave, over here, what did they say about Shore? He's the same day-to-day, or?
Day-to-day, yeah, day-to-day.
Because I noticed he was out briefly.
Yeah, he went and he just tweaked something, and it's too bad. He's disappointed because he had a pretty good camp. He was looking forward to getting going, but with a couple of days in between the next game, we just decided it's best to hold him out. And he wanted to give it a little try today, but we don't want to put him in a bad position here. So he'll take a couple of days, and hopefully he might be ready on Saturday.
Be fun to be behind the bench without a mask on?
I'm not sure if they're. I'm under the impression we have to wear masks.
You have to wear masks?
In Alberta, I think this is the only place that you have to do it, I think.
No, I think
Ontario, too.
Ontario as well. That's why I was asking. I wasn't sure if you had to wear the mask here.
We've been married. We're doing it all preseason, and the game down in Seattle, we didn't. Winnipeg, we didn't. But here, I believe that's still in the books. So on the road, it'll be free speaking, and here it'll be muzzled.
Okay, thank you.
Dave, you mentioned Shore and how you liked his camp, and you admitted that him and Perlini had outplayed McLeod and Benson. So what would you like to see from McLeod tonight? You know, another opportunity here. What more do you need to see from him?
Yeah, he's sound positionally, skates well. He needs to have more impact on the game, more impact in a critical time, and he could play a lot the same for. If he plays 10 minutes, play the same for another 9 minutes, but have a minute where it actually you say, hey, wow, that's taking it to another level. And when he starts doing that more and more, instead of 1 minute of another level, you're getting 2 minutes, and then you're getting 3 minutes of another level. So he was a little cautious, not cautious, just careful, and he's got to feel confident in what he's doing. He's a good player. He's going to be a good NHL player for a long time, but he just needs to push that on a little more, and that's going to come with growth and maturity in his game.
His two wingers tonight have really been producing a lot in the preseason. Perlini, obviously, a lot of goals. Turris had four helpers. What have you liked specifically from them that's allowing them to finish? What are they doing to create so many opportunities?
I don't know if it's they're creating so many opportunities, they're capitalizing on the opportunities they're getting, and that's a big factor. You look at, we've talked about the ice time those bottom six lines are getting. They're not going to get a lot of power play time, so they have to be solid in all the doing on the ice. But when you get a chance to contribute offensively, you got to make the best of it, and that's exactly what they did in camp. Like the Vancouver game, they were solid, but they got the one good chance, and it was Perlini put it in. And those are the things when you're trying to find balance in your scoring and scoring from kind of down the lineup. Those are the things that have to happen. When you get a chance, you have to capitalize on it.
With Cassian, you say he's eligible for Saturday. Do you envision him actually playing on Saturday?
Well, if he gets okayed by the doctors today, the doctors want him to get a couple more practices, and I'm sure they'll talk about it the next couple of days. But he's going full speed out there. Like he's ready to go right now, he thinks, but the doctors are just being cautious with it, which I understand.
It is surprising because it looked like a pretty scary incident, and he's up within a couple of days, kind of shrugging it off. I mean, you have to go through the due diligence and everything. The
protocols, but all the neuropsych testing, everything, he's tested all clear on all that stuff. So it's just a matter of getting him a few extra days.
With McDavid and Draisaitl together, had you planned from before training camp even to potentially start that way, or was there something you saw along the way in the Hyman Nugent-Hopkins combo? Did your thinking switch partway through for some reason?
There's some things we're looking at for the whole group, and some of it is geared to how each of our lines kind of play, and we've got to be a harder team to play against. So there's just a lot of factors that went into it, and as we went on here, I wanted to get to know Hyman a little bit. Wanted to see where Nuge was at, and we'll probably tinker with it as we go on here, but there's certain things that we're looking for our lineup all the way through it, and this is the way we're going to start tonight.
So looking at your, say your top two lines, the quality that you maybe would like to see that you think might be there, what is it that's there now that maybe you didn't see as much before this season?
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of factors that go into it. I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. Oh, yeah, Tony.
Dave, Looks like Chris Russell comes in. Is Slater Cuckoo? What was the decision behind
It's
it?
just, we talked about it a little bit back and forth. Chris is up and going, and that one could be fluid in and out. We'll just get both guys up and running.
And one question about Mike Smith. It's been well documented. He's a very vocal leader in that locker room. One constant in talking to him, whether it's on the ice in front of all the fans or in here, is that he really wants to win. How big of an asset is that in that locker room to have a guy who is that determined on winning?
Well, he's an intense guy. He has an impact in that locker room, and the one thing about Schmidt, he recognizes he's got to play well to have that impact. So he takes that responsibility, but I mean, everybody wants to win bad. He, in that position, there's an extra onus put on it, and I like that he has that confidence and that swagger about him, and the players in our dressing room like it also. So we'll get him going tonight and see how he goes. All right, thanks.